Hello and welcome to this YouTube channel called Battleship Master. This is where I, Ram Bishop, your host, will be showing you all of the different 1 in 350 scale naval warships you can collect. This one here, as you can see, this is the VeryFire 1 through 50 scale battleship USS Iowa BB-61. Now, before we get into this kit, a quick little history lesson. Battleship USS Iowa was the first ship in the Iowa class to be completed. Her sister ships New Jersey, Missouri, and Wisconsin would soon follow in 42, 43, and 44. She was 888 feet long and 1 inch with 9 16-inch guns. She had the most technologically advanced fire control systems in the world. She was the longest battleship in the world, and she was the most dangerous enemy for a Yamato. And despite being 45,000 tons, she was able to have relatively powerboat speed, which was 30 knots. So 31 knots. So I'll go ahead and pause this video and I'll get back to you once we get the kit open. So right off the bat, as you can see, starting with the hull. So zoom in there. Yes, it's a very nice, very beautiful hull. So, perfect. Look at that. If you look closely, you can see there's panel lines. There's panel lines all along the hull. Very beautiful. There you go. Right here we have, of course, the instructions. 1 3/50th scale USS Battleship BB-61 Iowa. And you can see it shows a picture of the completed model. This kit does not come with paint, so you need to supply your own paint, your own airbrush, so on and so forth. However, if you look in the instructions, at least this is how mine came, you will find a pamphlet and some photo etch. So this pamphlet, not really pamphlet, but more or less, this is essentially your painting guide. So this will tell you two things. Number one, this will give you two different variations of the ship. This is Battleship Iowa in 1945 in the Horizon paint scheme, the No. 51 Horizon paint scheme, I believe. If I'm wrong, please correct me on that. That's something I would surely intend to want to know. You can see this kind of just shows all those different colors. You have deep sea blue for the deck color, kind of like a light navy blue, hull red, flat black, and then I'm guessing that's like a light navy gray. Once again, feel free to correct me. Oh, perfect. Here's the color scheme. This is Battleship Iowa in 1944. This is the camouflage version. So you can choose which paint scheme you want to paint. And then you may not need all of these paints. Some of these paints are different depending on which camouflage you want to go for. You have gold for the props, hull red for the props, black, so like flat black, insignia white, which is probably the gray that I was talking about, sea blue, light gray, then 20B deck blue. So that's what I was calling deep sea blue. So that is not deep sea blue, that is deck blue. So it's your painting and marking guide. You can see these are the aircraft she had on her. The reconnaissance float planes. I believe these are Kingfisher. So I'll set that two out of the way. Photo etch. Get two sets of photo etch. This is the superstructural detail upset. So all of this photo etch. So like this is like your little like deck and railing and stuff going around the funnels, catapults, airplane canopies, superstructural railing, funnel detail, and kind of like kind of like little antennas and stuff too. So I'm not quite sure what all of this individually will go for, but then again, that's why we have instructions. This is also railing and stuff. More railing, plain canopies and stuff. The instructions are fairly good. I personally do not see any problems with them. So, you have an instruction booklet, of course. I've already pulled out all the stuff, but I'm kind of just going to flip through some of the instructions really quick. You can see, these instructions they're fairly similar to Tamiya, except for the kit itself has better detail and has more parts than your average Tamiya kit. So, however, the instructions pretty much call for the same. Then here's the photo wedge. So you can see that's the photo wedge right there. Yeah, you bend it into a certain shape and then you put it around the funnel. So then it kind of shows, instead of building the ship and putting photo wedge on, if you want to put photo wedge on the ship while you build the ship, then the instructions based off what I'm showing you here will allow you to do that. Bow assembly. Superstructural details on the main deck. 40 millimeters, 40 millimeter Bofor guns, 20 millimeter Bofor guns. And this kind of just shows you how to install the main batteries and stuff once you have them on. Once again, the catapults, the Kingfishers, so on and so forth. So you can see. Then, of course, you skip through clear till you get to the final page. Once you get to the final page, or should I say the back of the manual, your battleship, if built correctly and built properly, should be complete. It should look just like this. Then, of course, don't get me wrong, depending on if you want to leave the main battery guns glued or if you want to let them rotate, same with the side armament, that is, of course, your choice. I'll set that back there. And this is weird. It looks like I got gypped out on all the parts. What you have to do is take this right here. Here's all the detail parts. These are all the parts you get. This is every single part in here, essentially, aside from the hull itself and the instructions and the photo etch, are in here. So you can see there's main battery gun turrets. Something that the VeryFire is known for is not only for having very well details on the panel lines and on the hull and having very good quality materials in these, but your gun turrets have 100% completely full interiors. So you can build the turret itself, you can build the rotating turret system, the cartridges, the loading mechanisms, everything is in here. So, even what you don't see of the turret. So like the turret, the rotational turret system, everything. These are more parts. You can see parts of the superstructure, anti-aircraft guns, propellers. And then when you put the two sides of the hulls, when you put the two pieces of the hull together, these are kind of your hull plates to help keep it pushed out. Digging further into the kit, you have your secondary 5-inch gun armament. So this ship should have 10. We have 5 here. There's another set of 5 in here somewhere. You have plane catapults. So this is your plane catapults, watch antennas, your aircraft cranes, floats for the float planes, and small little kind of like searchlights and stuff are in here. So kind of just a handful of tall yet crucial parts. So I would recommend being careful when taking those out. And you have 6 of these. These are your 20 millimeters and 40 millimeters Bofors, lifeboats, life rafts, ventilation systems, little ammunition pieces for if you want to paint ammunition and put them in the turrets to show the turret rotating system, like the ammunition. that they have in the turrets, you can do that. Those are all 16-inch shells right there. 1, 2, 3 of those. Let's see. Each one of these have 2 in them, so there's 2 per bag. So you have 3 bags of these. There's 2 sprues in these that are the exact same, so you have 6 sprues with those pieces. Looking back down, we have the midship deck section. So where the secondary gun turret and the superstructure go on. Flipping it, you can see, you can kind of see, it's in 2 pieces here, but this is the stern section. It's like where your catapults and rear gun turret will go. So these are both in the same bag. The only one that has its own separate bag is the bow piece. Matter of fact, the deck pieces, I'm not sure if my camera will want to zoom correctly. Maybe I can do it at an angle. Give it a second. The deck has extraordinary detail. Look at all that beautiful detail. Whether you throw paint on it or not, or you just build the ship, I would highly recommend painting it. I don't know anybody who wouldn't paint it. All of your holes are drilled perfectly. You even have detail clear at the bow section, clear at the tip top of the bow section. Your armor plating and everything. And where your anchor chains would go. So, in terms of detail, that's what the deck looks like. And then I showed you the hull. We have, these are O2 and O3 levels of the superstructure. So this is what the rest of the superstructure goes on. There's 2 pieces in here. You can see they're wrapped together. This sprue, you only have 1 of these. Anti-aircraft gun ports. So like this is where some of the 40mm Bofors guns are built up on. Superstructural pieces, like the bridge and stuff. I believe I already showed the conning tower. Oh, here's another one. Superstructural pieces, you have your main masts and secondary masts in there, along with your 2 funnel capsules. Then you have the conning tower in there. This is the last big sprue. Once again, superstructures, side armament, wall plating, anti-aircraft gun bastions, gun ports, all sorts of smaller little items in there. Last but not least, you have your 2 American reconnaissance float craft, Kingfisher float planes. These go on the catapult, they launch off, they pinpoint the enemy, the battleship opens fire and destroys the enemy targets. They land in the water next to the battleship with, of course, the floats. And then the crane on the back of the ship cranes them out of the water, puts them back on the catapults, they get reset and reused, and they're ready to go again. And this is the metal anchor chain. You only get 1 of these, however, essentially, so what I do is I mark the length of each anchor, like how long I want the chain to be. Or I just want it to go from the chain hole to the forecastle or whatever, or if I just want to have kind of like wind it, but essentially you get 1 of these. What you do is you cut it into however big you want it, but make sure you leave enough slack that you have enough. Make sure you leave enough slack so you have enough chains so you can make the 2 separate chains for the 2 separate anchors. So it comes as 1 piece, but you cut it into 2 equal pieces. Let me put it like that. So as you can see, that's everything you get with a VeryFire 1:350 scale USS Iowa or Blue Ridge. VeryFire and Blue Ridge are partnered. So these kits are essentially the result of both companies working together. So however you know them as. This kit can range from a variety of different prices. I don't know Amazon to sell it. However, I bought mine off of eBay. I've seen it for a minimum price of $150. I've seen it for a maximum price of $290 from the distributor themselves. So it depends on where you want to buy it from, but I got mine on sale in January, so this January, and mine costed me $120, and then I paid $19 on the shipping fee. So about $139. I think it was $142, $146, including tax. So I would say for as big as this ship is, the amount of detail you get in it on the main deck, the deck detail, the hull detail, the potential detail you as an experienced modeler can put into it based off of what you know how to do, the full set of superstructural photo etch. If you want to get individual railings for the ship themselves, that comes separately. But for the superstructure themselves, the photo etch, the superstructural photo etch, and then you get every single little inner detail on the gun turrets. You don't just get the tops of the turrets, but you get the entire turret system. So including everything below deck that you don't see, all the different mechanisms and everything, including the loading mechanisms to the gun batteries. Then of course, if you choose to leave those unglued, then you can of course pop those off and have exposed interior detail if you so desire. So I would say for me personally, what was a grand price of, I'd say $146, including shipping and tax off of eBay, new from an individual seller. I would say that's not a bad price at all. Then I've got a lot more ships and ship kits to review, so I look forward to reviewing these in the future. But as of now, this is the first review of a 1/350 scale VeryFire ship under my channel, so I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you go out and have an absolutely delightful day. If you want to see more videos like this, please like and subscribe. If not, then that's okay too, just as long as this video is able to help you in some way, shape, or form if you're looking to get into the model ship industry. Once again, my name is Rim Bishop. I will see you next time.